Dear students, in the last class we have been discussing the different types of the concepts we can study from the software architecture. So on that basis we can define architecture as a high level design, and high level design we have discussed in the previous video. That is, there are three kinds of designs we can make out while constructing a software architecture. One is a high level design, and another one is a low level design, and the third one is a detail level design. In the high level design, usually you will get software architecture, database design, and a different kind of processor, whatever the system components required to build a software architecture, that to be considered in the design level one. And in the next level, that is a low level design, the design elements that are to be taken in the design level one, that is called as a high level design. The details, the logic behind those elements will be implemented in the low level design. Low level design is a documentation of the high level design. And apart from this, we can define architecture is the overall structure of the system, because the different structure provide the critical engineering leverage, points to imbue a system with the quality attributes that will render it a success or a failure. Without architecture, we cannot define the overall structure of the system. Also, we can define the multiplicity of the structures, whether the elements are repeated or we are using a single element there. That is, it defines the multiplicity of the structures in an architecture, lies at the heart of the concept. And the other important aspect we can get from the software architecture is, architecture is the structure of the components of a program or a system, their interrelationships and the principles and the guidelines governing their design and evolution over a time. That is, how they behave mutually. That is, any system has an architecture that can be discovered and analyzed independently of any knowledge of the process by which architecture was designed and evolved. And next, we can see from the definition of architecture, we can make out the components and connectors involved in the architecture. Connectors imply a runtime mechanism for transferring control and data around the system. When we speak of relationships among elements, we intend to capture both runtime and non-runtime relationship. Here the question arises, what is the meaning of components and the connectors? Let me explain this. That is the meaning of components and connectors in a software architecture. Connectors means these imply a runtime mechanism, for transferring control and data around the system. Okay, the meaning of connectors is, it implies a runtime mechanism for transferring a control and data around the system. And in the last class we discussed the software architecture is it's a collection of elements Imagine this is a software architecture layout. In this, I will be defining a different n number of finite elements, and how these elements interact with each other. What is the interrelationship between these elements? What is the interrelationship between these elements? So here This is one software element, and this is one. These are the other two software elements. This is considered, this is a software architecture. It is embedded with the 4 different elements, means, or it is prepared to perform a particular task, to fulfill the particular application. It is constructed with the 4 different elements. Here how the elements are mutually exchange information. They execute the programs synchronously or asynchronously. Also, apart from this, the meaning of connectors imply the mechanism of transferring control and data around the system. This is one system, and for example, the program in this element, the program is being running, and once it completed its task, this element want to transfer the control as well as the data, the data present that is assigned to this element to the another element. So this mechanism, it is called as a connectors. The transferring the data and the control from one element or one component, it is called as a, this mechanism, it is said to be a connectors. How the data is flowed from and the control is transferred from one element to the other element, it is called as a connectors. And next we will move to the next the further meaning of this, that is connectors imply a runtime mechanism for controlling and transferring data around the system. And when you speak of relationship means, as already I said, relationship means how they behave mutually. That is among elements, all the elements run synchronously at a time, or asynchronously, or dependently or independently. Sometimes the elements behave independently, sometimes they behave independently. The independency situation arises only when the data is required, that is dependent on this element, or this may be dependent on another element, this may be dependent on this element. When the data and control is dependent, in that case they behave dependently. When the data and control is independent, in that case they behave independently. For example, we will change this particular architecture, the architecture where they behave independently. This is currently this is a picture where all the elements are behaving dependently with respect to data as well as with respect to control. This is a picture where all the elements are interconnected, so it indicates that they behave dependently. The execution of one dependent on the execution of the other. And next in the next picture I will show the same picture I will edit and show you how they behave independently. The same picture, this is the same picture where I will remove the interconnection between these elements. Remove the interconnection between these elements, and this is again a software architecture. It does not mean it does not mean that when I remove the interconnection, it may be some other picture. It is a picture of software architecture where all the 4 elements, the components present in this entire architecture, they are behaving independently because there is no interconnection. They execute their functionality autonomously, independently. This is a picture which represents that is when the elements present in the software architecture behave independently. Okay. about interrelationships. Interrelations means asynchronous behavior or synchronous behavior, and dependent. The elements require dependency. They require a control and data to execute their functionality, or else they do not require control and data to execute their functionality. This is called as that is how the software architecture, it is a group of, it's a collection of components and collectors. So we can define software architecture from this. It is a high level design. Also it defines the overall structure of the system. Also it is a structure of a program or a system, their interrelationship and the principle and the guidelines governing their design and evolution over a time. Also it defines architecture is a components and connectors. Next we will move to the other concept, that is architectural patterns, reference models and reference architecture. These all concepts are very important to understand the remaining chapters from the software architecture, because these are the fundamental things we need to understand. First we will go one by one. That is the first thing is architectural pattern. Architectural pattern means it is a description of element and relation types together with a set of constraints. Constraints means some rules and regulations on how they may be used. Architectural pattern, it is a description of element and relation types together with a set of constraints. Means some constraints will be added. That is these are nothing but restrictions or rules and regulations that lead a software architecture on how they may be used. The example is the client server is a common architectural pattern. That is when we log in into the internet, where the login person he or she is called as a client, and the server is a machine which is responding to the client queries. And client and server are two element types, and their coordination is described in terms of protocol. How they communicate each other via different network protocols. Already we have come across the protocols in a computer network. SMTP is there, FTP is there. Like this, many types of protocols are required to communicate between a client and a server. So in this example, that is server uses to communicate with each of its clients. Within 2 minutes the video recorder will stop. So I will stop the meaning and architectural pattern here, the meaning of architectural pattern here, and I will continue in the next video.